Have you ever felt invisible in a world that seems to favor everyone but you? Have you ever wished for more love, respect, or recognition? If so, this story will resonate with you. Today, I will share a Buddhist-inspired story about an elephant who felt alone and unappreciated. Through the wisdom of a compassionate sage, the elephant learns an invaluable lesson about self-worth, perspective, and true happiness. Stay with me to the end, and you'll discover how this ancient tale can help transform your outlook on life. The story, The Unseen Elephant. Once, in a lush, vibrant forest at the edge of a vast savanna, there lived a young elephant named Neemo. Neemo was a large, strong creature, but despite his size and strength, he was deeply troubled by feelings of inadequacy. He spent his days wandering through the jungle, quietly watching as other animals, the sleek lion, the fast gazelle, and the colorful parrot, were admired and praised by the other creatures. Everywhere he went, Neemo felt unnoticed. The other animals would often avoid him or glance at him with indifference, too busy with their own lives to offer a word of kindness. The lion would roar proudly as the animals cheered him on. The parrot would sing songs, drawing everyone's attention, and the gazelle would run gracefully, admired for her beauty and speed. Neemo, on the other hand, felt that he was simply in the way, too large, too clumsy, and, worst of all, too invisible. One afternoon, while resting in the shade of a tall tree, Neemo sighed deeply, his sadness weighing heavily on his heart. He was tired of feeling unimportant, tired of being overshadowed by the more graceful and admired animals of the forest. He began to question his own worth, asking, "Why am I even here? If everyone else seems to have a purpose, why don't I?" He longed for someone to tell him that he mattered, but the forest seemed empty of answers. As Neemo sat there, lost in thought, a wise old sage, a hermit who had lived in the forest for many years, approached him. The sage was known for his deep wisdom, having studied nature and life for decades. His presence was calm, and his face wore the expression of one who had seen the world's many truths. The sage approached the elephant and sat beside him in silence for a moment. "My friend," the sage said softly, "I see that your heart is heavy with sorrow. Why do you carry such sadness?" Neemo looked at the sage, his eyes filled with frustration. "I am invisible," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "Everyone else has something special. The lion is fierce. The parrot is beautiful. The gazelle is swift. No one even notices me. I am nothing in their eyes. My life feels pointless. Like I have no place in this world. The sage smiled gently, his eyes sparkling with understanding. Ah, Neema, he said. I see that you have been looking at the world in a way that has caused you to forget something very important. You are not meant to be like the others. You are meant to be you, the unique, magnificent elephant who brings strength, peace, and wisdom to this forest. It is only when you accept your true nature and embrace it fully that you will find the deep sense of purpose you seek. Confused, Neema asked, "But how can I be special? What is my purpose in a world that values speed, beauty, and strength in other forms?" The sage looked at Neemo with deep compassion. Your strength is not in your size alone, my friend. It lies in your presence, your ability to be calm, steady, and nurturing to the others around you. You bring stability to this world, just as the great mountains bring balance to the land. You provide wisdom, comfort, and protection. Look closer at the forest around you. The birds fly with ease. The lions hunt with precision. But without the quiet strength of your presence, this forest would fall into chaos. You are the anchor in the storm. The elephant listened intently as the sage continued. Sometimes, you may feel unseen because your greatness lies not in attention, but in quiet action. You do not need to be praised to know your worth. Your very existence is a blessing to this world. Remember this, and you will never feel invisible again. For the first time in a long while, Neema felt a warmth in his chest. The sadness that had clouded his heart began to lift. The realization that his worth was not dependent on others' approval or recognition brought him a deep sense of peace. Personal reflection and lesson. The story of Neema the elephant is a powerful reminder that true self-worth comes from within, not from the admiration or recognition of others. In our world today, many of us can relate to Neema's feelings of invisibility or inadequacy. We may compare ourselves to others, believing that we fall short in some way. We may feel that we are not living up to the standards set by society or by those around us. But the wisdom of this story teaches us that our value is not defined by the external world, it is intrinsic to who we are. Just as the elephant is important for the balance and harmony of the forest, each of us has a unique role to play in the world. We do not need to be the fastest, the most beautiful, or the most recognized. We only need to be true to our own nature, embrace our strengths, and contribute in the ways that align with our authentic self. In Buddhism, this understanding of self-worth is deeply rooted in the teachings of non-attachment and impermanence. We are not our roles or labels. We are not defined by the opinions of others. We are, in essence, beings of great potential, And when we connect with our inner wisdom and accept ourselves fully, we begin to experience the profound peace and happiness that comes from living authentically. Conclusion: the power of embracing your true self. So, the next time you feel overlooked, unimportant, or invisible, remember the story of Neemo. Take a moment to reflect on your own unique qualities and strengths. Know that your value is not in what others see, but in the quiet power of simply being yourself. If you ever find yourself lost in comparison, remember that the forest would not be the same without the elephant. You, too, have a vital role to play in the world, just as you are. And the most beautiful thing about it is that no one else can fulfill that role but you. Embrace who you are. Find your purpose, not in the approval of others, but in the quiet acceptance of yourself. If this story resonated with you, leave a comment below and share how you've learned to embrace your own unique strengths. And remember to like, subscribe, and share this video to spread the wisdom of living authentically with others.